I'll wear a hat this time. Hello, people. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another live commentary. I've delayed this one long enough. It's the 2004 sequel to the 1997, monster movie, Anacondas, The Hunt for the Blood Orchid. A very underrated movie from 2004 that I don't think is as bad as people say it is. 97 minutes. Hey, little Sims, let's get started. Yeah, this is the one I've been waiting to do for a while. I was going to do it in October, but I just lost track of the time. It was so long. But I did do a lot of horror films last year. And this is more of an adventure movie than a horror film. And I like this more than the first one, if anyone asks. So, well-shot movie done by Dwight H. Little. Good director. He did Halloween 4, before the Halloween franchise went to crap with the 2018 movie and the remake and all that. Ugh. This is pretty underrated. I think it's better because it's a better cast. Johnny Messner, way better than Ice Cube in the first one. Katie Strickland. Yeah, you have Matthew Marston he's weak. He's the main villain. Eugene Bird, he's the black guy here, and he's, kind of a little stereotypical. Sally Richardson Wakefield, way better than J-Lo, I can say that. Nicholas Gonzalez, you've seen him in other stuff on the CW, etc. Carl Yoon, the Asian guy. And you have Dennis Arndt, and you have Morris Chestnut in this. So you have two black men. They start in Borneo, which is an Asian country. I actually saw this movie on my PSP back in the 2010s. I bought it on the PSP back in like 2008 or something like that. Yeah. It was in the late 2000s. Because I got the PSP in 2007 and I started buying UMDs in 2008, and 2009, and 2010 because I didn't have a DVD player. A portable DVD player, I didn't have one. So I had to watch movies on my PSP, and it was fun at the time. There's a real tiger. It's not CGI. Only the snakes are CG in this, mostly. Because you have a crocodile later, and it's not it's real. It's not CGI. That's a practical effect when he's stabbing the snake. Yeah, I think the effects are not that bad for 2004, considering this is before Avatar, and it's not 3 hours long. 4 people wrote the screenplay. It's still shorter than for 4 people writing it. It's still a much shorter film than the Avatar sequels are going to be, because all of those are going to be like 4 hours long. I know Pixar's making a Toy Story 5 and Frozen 3. I already know the news, little Sims. I read the news online, which is fine because Lightyear was a big bomb and they can't have another bomb. Not that big of a bomb, because I'm like, these animated movies don't need to cost $200 million. I don't see the money on the screen. In Luca, I did, but in Lightyear and Strange World, where the hell did the money go? Now we're in New York City. New York City. It starts with a black man, so that's a good lead. At least this meeting scene is once. You don't go back to it until at all. Perennial Immortalis, the blood orchid. Yeah, it's a plant. How come they didn't make a sequel? Good, you spelled it right. To Happy Time Murders, because it bombed, and Baby Boy was way too racist and dark, so they don't want to do a sequel. Plus, it has a definitive ending. Well, we have to. It's part of life. Morris Chestnut looks the same. Like even in two, yeah, of course, because Viagra doesn't work. We can't. Yeah, don't worry. This is the last movie I'm seeing with a Brit for a while. There was going to be a sequel, but it's probably going to be direct to streaming because nowadays that's the way to go. And I will say this is better than the freaking Jungle Cruise movie because the movie had horrible CGI and it was it came out like 2 years ago and it's Disney. They have to make movies overlong and way too digital. That's the problem with Disney. They don't think movies need to look like films anymore. They need to look like theme park rides or video games. Yeah, it's not really my thing. I prefer a movie that looks like a film. I guess that's why Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness didn't get a Best Oscar for nomination for visuals because it said it looked too digital. I'm like, hey, Sam Raimi, it was his vision, and also it didn't get Best Makeup, which sucks. That sucks that it was robbed. I mean, Independence Day, Bad Santa, Zoolander, Top Gun got sequels. Yeah, Jin Soon. I'm just happy that this movie's short because I don't want to do another 2 hour movie. Most of the movies I'm doing are under 2 hours. You saw Christmas Lights? Because I was going to do this podcast last week, but after what I went through, I was like, no, I'm going to do it now, whether people like it or not. Exactly. They only did sequels to Bad Santa and Zoolander and Independence Day because Disney, Hollywood lost their freaking minds. They think anything could get a sequel. We don't need a sequel to everything. We don't need to know what happened years later. Look at Clerks 3. They retcon the ending of the second one and everybody dies. Wow, what a waste of good talent, Kevin Smith. There's some Asians, yeah. All those got sequel, but not Baby Boy, yeah. This guy was only good in one movie, and that was in he was good in as a schoolboy, I think it was named. Yeah, he was in Rambo 4, but he doesn't talk much in that. That's why. Here he's like his the main villain. Yep, Jinsoon is Johnny Messner. He has one of the coolest voices ever. It's very manly. Him and Pedro Pascal have the coolest voices. He's basically if Vin Diesel had hair and had more charisma. Because as much as I like Vin Diesel's voice, I'm like, dude, emote. You don't have to talk in every fast movie like this. You can get your tickets. You could get your tickets for Fast 10 right now. How? The movie doesn't come out till spring. Let's cut the bullshit. Yeah. What was like Johnny Messner as an actor? I think he's underrated. Poker Club, the whole 10 yards. He's a good actor. I like him. He's got a very manly voice, which is hard to find nowadays because either someone are effeminate like this, flapping their little wings, or they sound like a woman. I'm sorry, they don't have a manly voice. Some of them sound too squeaky. That's just how it is, guys. I don't care if that's offensive. They said the sequel will be called Baby Boy 2 Coming of Age, but it's probably going to be a sequel with another kid. Like his kid is going to be the next generation. They could pull it off, but they have to make it. Messner, I don't know why he didn't become like an action star like Vin Diesel. I don't get it because he's a good actor. Yep, there's Eugene Bird. He did Star Wars. He was in the Lego Star Wars Freemakers. He's a good actor. Yeah. Hell yeah. Spike and Woody, meaning Spike Lee and Woody Allen, not Woody Harrelson. You know, that was when Woody Allen was still respected as a director. Now he retired. Well, there's Nicholas Gonzalez. At least he doesn't have an accent because if this was Diego Luna, I would have been bored. There's the product placement in the movie, Coca-Cola bottle, but it's in the background. What was I saying about like Baby Boy 2 would only work if they respect the first one and do like they did with Maverick. Next generation, passing the torch. That's the all you can do now. Not take the torch and burn them with it like they did with Force Awakens. Because that ruined everything. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no annoying characters here. It's just that the British guy having the twist that he's the villain. I'm like, yeah, the snakes are the villain, really. I mean, they're going into their territory. I mean, was there a British guy in the first one? Jonathan Hyde, but he dies. Most of the actors die in the first one, except for Ice Cube, J Lo, and I think that's it. And I think Eric Stoltz. I mean, might die. I forgot. Mm-hmm. And I will. So yes, headphones. Yeah, I remember those headphones. Plus, the black guy gets to do something in this movie. He gets a badass moment at the end because Morris Chestnut bites it because he's not the first to die though. Mm. I'll get you there. Yeah, he has a manly voice without sounding ridiculous like Christian Bale's Batman or something like that. Yeah, it works because you have a lead that is not a normal lead that you would get in a movie like this, and it's a fun B movie, guys. This movie's not meant to be taken seriously. It's a sequel to a dumb B movie from the '90s with J Lo before she was doing all these rom coms. Yeah, yep, that's a toilet that has a hole you can fall in. Interesting how this movie came out at 7 years after the original, but it wasn't a decade. Nowadays, it's a movie could come out 30 years later, and they're like, this was worth doing a sequel to. Top Gun Maverick got lucky that Tom Cruise is still a bankable star because if he was replaced, I guarantee you that sequel would have flopped. Just saying, guys, he's the reason people went to go see it, and that the freaking Danger Zone song, a lot of nostalgia, and great flying sequences. It bombed because Little Sims had released it late. Why did they release it in October? They should have released it in the summer instead of the DC Super Pets movie. Just saying, the Super Pets movie should have been on streaming in the same month. It would have been fine. It's a monkey. It's not dangerous. It's not dangerous. It's a monkey. Kong lives here. Your guest. It's a real monkey too. She got scared of that. It's the size of a boo from the Aladdin. Hello, Electric Dino. What's up? And nice to rewatch of this movie called no, not the first Anaconda. This is the sequel. See, this doesn't have J Lo. This is from the one from 2004. I don't have the 1997 film. I saw it with my family last year, and we got some laughs. It's not a good film, but it's. I hadn't watched it in years. Looks like the DC Cinematic Universe is dead. Well, no, it's rebooting. There they rapport again, these people. But I like most of these people. Nicholas Gonzalez. He played he was in The Flash. Yeah, he played Cisco's brother, the one that dies. You're a woman. You're one of two women in this film. Of course they're gonna hit on you. Him, he hits on her, of course. DC was gonna make a Black Adam versus Superman movie. Yeah, if the movie didn't bomb. And Cavill just was never gonna be Superman for 10 years. He got cast 10 years ago in Man of Steel and it failed. Making the films darker to try to be different from Disney's Marvel movies, didn't work. Superman is not a dark character. Batman is. And Black Adam is a villain. They didn't know how to cheer for someone who's an anti-hero who kills people. He's a villain, guys. Yeah, it's funny how they thought Black Adam was going to make like Wonder Woman money, or even the what was the thing called? What what was that thing called? Joker. Joker made money because it was not overly expensive, and it had a good story, and it was under 2 hours. Let me eat some granola. Monkey see, monkey do. Why didn't I? When they announced an Independence Day sequel without Will Smith, I was like, yeah, I was like, that doesn't sound right. And then they killed him off. Yeah, screw you, movie. Is that a papaya? That monkey's eating the fruit. They're cute. Yeah, it's a monkey. It has a tail. It's not an ape. And it's a snake doesn't like cry. It goes. That's what a snake does. It doesn't go whatever the hell the snake does in the '97 film. Run, monkey, run! I'm eating granolas. Classic granola, gluten-free, eco-friendly granolas. I want to eat something light. That's good for me. Everything gets eaten out here. It's the jungle. But this movie looks real. The jungle doesn't look like a CGI green screen background. In Jungle Cruise, I'm like, what the hell were they thinking? They turn a ride I've never been on from a 10 or 15-minute ride in Disney to a 2 hour and 10-minute disaster. And I know a lot of people didn't like it. Critics were not a fan of it. I just couldn't get into it. Emily Blunt is so terrible. Every time she does a Disney movie, she ruins it. She had Mary Poppins Returns and now this. I'm like, please just smoke a blunt and get out of my face. Mm-hmm. She's foul. There's something dangerous, yeah. In the jungle, anything can be dangerous, even the water. Mm-hmm. What, you don't eat granolas, Little Sims? Some people put this on a yogurt or in ice cream, but I like to eat it full. I thought she was gonna die. I was like, oh god, the black girl's gonna be the first to die. No, the first one to die is the Latino guy, because you know why. This isn't like Rogue One where they all die. People didn't see it. No Will Smith means the movie's gonna suck. Look at Suicide Squad. The first one was the only reason I saw was for Will Smith. There's a croc. Those are dangerous, man. I've seen them. Those things are scary. They're not even snakes, but they can't climb mountains, but they can swim really fast, and they have powerful jaws. And I touched one of their teeth. I'm like, good God, these things have teeth like knives. It's a scary looking creature, man. They're descendants of dinosaurs for a reason. Crocs. Just like the scene in Jumanji. Remember the first Jumanji when the croc shows up? I'm like, yeah. Those things are scary, man. I would never touch one of those things. Not even a baby, because I'm like, no, I want to keep my hands, guys. I want to live. Living is not taking stupid risks. What? Hey, Josh, you made it. Well, we're 22 minutes in. I'm glad to see you here this time. So glad. The chat has been way calmer since I blocked you know who. Because I needed a break, guys. See, it's a practical crocodiles, not CGI. They only use CG for the snakes. It was scary. It's a fine line. I think this film is underrated. It's the last good Anaconda movie. Because once it got to 3 and it had David Hasselhoff, I'm like, this CGI is horrible. It looks like a PS1 game from the early 90s, from the mid 90s. This one, at least the CG is competent, and it was released in theaters. Yes. And I do like this director. He also did Rapid Fire with the late Brandon Lee. Miss you, man. I do like some of these actors, but in the first one, like I like some of the actors. Ice Cube, I think, is good. It's just J Lo. She's only there to show her ass. That's pretty much it, because she was young at the time. She had only done like 2 other films before Anaconda. She did like Selena and some other film. Yeah. And remember, don't spoil anything in the podcast for next week. Baby Boy is racist because they talk their stereotypes. Little Sims, they say the N word a lot, and it's just really like ghetto and urban. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. It's black culture. I've been knees deep into that this month so far, but I don't want to see anything too racist. I mean, I saw the Breaking movies. They have their little tangles with race, but it's not overly done. Like it's not like Django Unchained where they say the N word every 2 seconds. It's too much. I don't know why they want to preach about racism. I'm like, we get it already, Netflix and Disney. Beautiful golden hair. Hmm. I get it. It's a social commentary. It works. It worked in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Some people were offended by that. I'm like, it's a black man playing Captain America. That was going to bring controversy. Controversy. Even though I don't see it as that. I see it as him being the next Captain America to succeed Steve Rogers. And I hope you two see Falcon's, the Captain America, the New World Order next year. I know I will. Hmm. Hmm. I know Power Rangers bombed. I hated it. The 2017 movie. It just offended me. They turned a campy Super Sentai show that was dubbed in English in the 90s into a knockoff Iron Man Transformers disaster. And the tone was too much like Fan Snorstick. It's way too serious. It's not fun. The best character was Billy, the Blue Ranger. He was the only character I liked because he was likable. Yes, they made him autistic, but they made him autistic in a way that he's actually smarter than the rest of these dumbasses because he's the genius. He's the one that he gets more. He morphs first. He finds the cave. He's the smart one. And he's a good actor. I like R.J. Seiler. He was good in Black Lightning as well. I would love to see him in the MCU or the DCU. Like a DCU movie, not a show this time. This is something I could see Caitlin, Karen, Naya, and some of the guys taking on. Fighting snakes, yeah. A reboot of this. I'm looking forward to Captain America 4. Yeah. New World Order, I call it. I'm not upset that Harrison Ford is going to be in it playing General Thunderbolt Ross because he's taking over for William Hurt who passed away. Yeah, I'm not missing any MCU movies. The only one I'm kind of iffy on is Thunderbolts, mainly because I don't like Ya Loser. I never heard of them. Never heard of them. Is this a fiber? Mm-hmm. Because next week I'm seeing Ant-Man. So if you don't see me on Facebook next Friday, you know why. I'm avoiding it at all costs. I'm avoiding any spoilers. Science. Who doesn't? Because Secret Wars, as long as my honey's going to be there, Cassie, I'm very happy about that. I'm so happy Marvel got a good actress to play adult Cassie. While she's not a brunette, we get it. It's good. It's close enough. She has those large, soulful eyes that Abby had, and I adored Abby in those first two films. She was one. That's one thing that Thor: Love and Thunder didn't have. Yeah, it had kids in it, but they're not in the film that much. She's a sweet, very curious, very lovable girl, like little girl. She was the heart of the first film, and even the second movie. She's so sweet. and you love her. You know that actress is gonna. A lot of boys are gonna love dating her. When I first discovered you on your old channel, I was the one to ask opinion on their Nickelodeon superhero show. Well, I don't know which one, because with Disney there were plenty of them. One of them being, Mighty Men. That was good. It was pretty good. It wasn't as good as Lab Rats. I think Lab Rats is a better show. By the way, happy birthday, Kelly Berglund. Cutie. She is loved. She's got guys are going to embrace her, and girls are going to dress up as her at Comic-Con, and she's going to just blow up. Because she's going to have Abby's sweetness from the first two films. Here comes the scene where they fall off the waterfall, like in Indiana Jones and the with Crystal Skull. I delayed those. I'm going to do those in May. I don't want to do them in February. It's too short of a month. I'll do them when May comes, because Dial of Destiny is coming out in June, so I got plenty of time. I have 4 months. I'm waiting until my brother moves out. Then I could do podcasts uninterrupted. Nope, he's out of gas. Wow, this is scary. And look, they have a diverse cast that's not shoved up your ass. No. Yeah. Cooper Barnes, I never heard of that. It's like a theme park ride. At least most of these actors are still alive. Okay. Let's continue. Because I really wanted to see. I know that there's black men in Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, but they're in the third act. I'd rather just wait, because the movie's not coming out till June, Dial of Destiny. I just want to be entertained. I don't care how long it is. I don't care how stupid it is. Just entertain me and I'll be fine. Please. Don't be another Force Awakens, Rogue One, or Solo, and I'll be just fine. I don't care how old Harrison Ford is. He can still act. Because I can point like this, and I still can be a better actor than Liam Hemsworth. Oh, the actor that plays Henry Danger, yeah. Because Kid Danger is what's his face? Jace Norman. He's been good in other things. Like I liked him in the what was it? Those movies called the Rufus and Rufus 2. Called. What was that movie called that he did? He did Bixley High. That was another movie he did that was pretty good. Hard drives. Of course, the hard drives were when it got wet. Yeah, he did Splitting Atom. I was not a fan of that. There's too much of Jason in that movie. Of course, they're not stuck here. The movie will be a short film. If they got stuck here, And these people are in. They know what movie they're in. They're not trying to do Shakespeare. And again, it's real. It's a real location. This is not a film set or some kind of stupid CGI. Because nowadays everything looks like a video game. Why did Jungle Cruise? Yeah, even Josh didn't like the movie, and trust me, that movie looked like a video game. Like that those CG effects with the conquistadors and the cheetah and this and whatever it looked horrible. It looked absolutely horrendous. I don't know what they were thinking. I'm like, you made this ugly looking Disney film and released it in theaters. You know, we're 36 minutes in. We did see the snake, but chasing the monkey, and then by 40-minute mark, it shows up again. When Jay Stormer works with Dan Schneider for comedy, it's forced. Yeah, that's the thing that I just say another stuff I've seen him in. It was pretty good. So he has a flare gun. It's a fun movie to rewatch. It doesn't have to be for Halloween. It's not really a horror film. It's more of an action adventure movie with some horror elements. Next week is Elizabeth Olsen's birthday. Yeah, yeah. What's the worst movie that Selena Gomez has ever done? I don't know because I haven't seen her in anything in a while. I mean, but the Hotel Transylvania movies are mostly good for the animation. I haven't seen Ramon and Beezus, and I refuse to see the. Well, I'll say Neighbors too because she was awful in that. Every girl in that movie was awful. They were just not funny. Chloe Grace Moretz and Beanie Feldstein. I forgot that she was even in the film. Debbie Ryan, Selena Gomez. They were annoying. They were really annoying. I'll say that one. Get the arrow out of the way. That's a machete. The Getaway. I haven't seen it, so I can't say The Getaway. People said it was her worst performance. I'm like, yeah, of course it was, because she that was. We get it. You don't work for Disney anymore, Selena. We get it. But Miley was the real star because she got her own show. You didn't get your own show until like a year after Miley, and Miley's movie made it to theaters. Yours didn't, and she was way more successful than Selena anyway. Mainly, Bolt did a lot better than the last Hotel Transylvania, and also, Miley's movies are just they're way more watchable than Selena. Yeah, this is a scary scene. They're walking through water, through the swamps of Borneo. Yeah, that alone looks scary. It's not deep water, but man, it's you never know. That's terrifying. I would never walk inside of a swamp. You don't know what's in there. Piranhas or a croc or barracuda. You don't know. I don't walk in water like that. Wait, the Hannah Montana movie went to theaters? Yeah, it did. I was there. It was April of 2009. That was a month before I moved here. There's a snake. You think I want to see a snake that big, over 30 feet long? Hell, oh hell no. Oh hell no. Like Will Smith says. Because I'm like, those things could eat you whole and you won't even know it happened. That is terrifying. Even the jackass guys wouldn't do something this dangerous. Go inside of a swamp. I know. Did you see Jaws or Piranha? What the water is not scare is not safe, guys. Lakes are sometimes they if there's a small lake, it's not that dangerous, but the ocean or even a swamp water or the sea, yeah, there's anything can kill you. Even bacteria can kill you in there. Yeah, I saw this in the trailer. Yeah, the Hannah movie. I saw it in the theater. I had a fun time. I clapped at the end. Oh yeah. Goodbye, Nicholas Gonzalez. Yep, he's the first to go. He just sucked them in. These things are dangerous. They're in South America. They're not they are not small. They're huge. People forget how big these things are. I'm like, yeah, Ben is the first to eat it. Yep. Yep, it swallows his head. Watch this effect. 41 minutes into the movie. Oh man. Yep, it got him. Yep. How was there a snake that big? Man, it's a mistake of nature. Wow, to be that. I mean, Crocs are not even that big. Of course, her movie wasn't going to cinemas because it was a TV movie the same year as the Hannah movie, Anaconda. Yes. Mm-hmm. That's terrifying. You see, I've seen one of those things. You know, they're huge. I've seen them in the zoo, I think, once or twice, but man, they're just amazingly huge. I know. And those animals, what will you see Toy Story 5 if it looks good? But I don't know. I think they're pressing their luck. They're only doing it for damage control because the Lightyear movie bombed. Nobody wanted Lightyear. It's Interstellar for kids, and it's not even a kids movie because they put a gay thing in it. Yeesh. That's terrifying. If I saw a thing like that, in my backyard, I would call the police, or like the animal control because I've seen lizards in my back. I've seen lizards and bugs, and I've seen, of course, raccoons. But a raccoon, while it can be scary, it's not as big as that. And whose fault was it? What was your reaction when Henry Danger was ending? I was like, "Yay, it's over!" And then they did two spin-offs. I'm like, "Yeah, franchises don't end until the studio say it is." Hey, at least the black guy has some sense. He knows when there's something dangerous out there, just go home. Wow, you don't sound. I'm damn it. He's like a discount Paul Bettany. That's what he sounds like. Yeah, Paul Bettany's a way better actor than him. Or Ed Skrein. Yeah, he's another terrible actor from the UK. But hey, that's terrifying. You ever seen a snake eat something? It's not pretty. They don't chew. They just swallow things whole. It's so crazy how big those things are. They can attack a cow without even flinching because they squeeze their. Pray. I was sad when it ended. Why? Don't you see Danger Force? Mm. See, Johnny Messer's right. Hmm. And then we're done. Yeah, I mean, it's scary that those things are not. I've seen snakes that are like 10 feet and 3 times as big. The largest snake I heard was like about 50 feet long. Yeah, 30 or 50 feet long. Yeah, that sounds big. That's bigger than my whole room. Oh, why does my dad always do that? He always gets groceries and then drops the bags like a bomb. So if you hear, I know, yeah, I saw Danger Force season 1 was better than season 2. Again, that's a reference to the first movie, by the way. Yeah, that's a reference to the only reference to the first movie, with Ice Cube and J Lo. But the first two movies are watchable. The third and fourth ones are horrible. The lead girl, she has her moments, but the CGI is just horrendous in 3 and 4. 46 minutes. We're about halfway through the film. Hmm. It's not his fault. He never wanted to go on this expedition. He was in a bar drinking, and they're like, "No, we're gonna take you on this crazy adventure with these snakes that can kill you instantly." What happened if Baby Boy 2 comes out again in theaters? Yeah, well, they better not make it 2.5 hours. It's a leech. He has to burn the leech. Yes, if you have a leech on you, you burn it. That's how you burn through a spider's web. You use flames. This is like the scene of the Lost City. Remember when Channing Tatum has a bunch of leeches on his ass? That was actually pretty funny. It's CGI though. Here, it's some CG as well. Are you gonna do a live commentary for the Pirates movies? Oh no. That third movie is so long, and I can't sit through Keira Knightley's acting. She's screaming half of the time, and I can't go through that again. I can't. I can't. I saw the first two films last year, and I'm like, yeah, but the thing is that I'm sorry, but Keira Knightley's acting just is horrendous in those films. In the first three, five, it's just a cameo, but I'm not doing the Pirates movies. It's just too long. That's a spider, yeah. Squish it. You should have squished it. See, even bugs and arachnids are dangerous in the jungle. That's why I don't go in the jungle. I've never been to the jungle in my life. Yeah, I live near a nature park. There's a bunch of dangerous things in the park as well that you have to be careful with. What happened to your Indiana Jones commentaries? I delayed them for the month of May. Makes sense because Dial of Destiny's coming out in June. I can do them in May. I'm waiting until my brother moves out of this house. That way, when I do a stream, I don't have to be interrupted by loud noises and screaming and music or any of that. or him playing with my dog. Yeah, I don't need any of that. I'll just do the ones that I planned. I plan to do Jumper, Scorpion King, and a bunch of others. Vixen, which is like a short animated film, and Pants on Fire. Yep, Livingston gets eaten. Gotcha. They made it PG-13, so they can't show too much blood. By the time Deadpool 3 comes out, I'm going to be 16. Well, you're still going to be underage, so. Actually, got dragged under. Mm. It's crazy that the authorities never come in this movie. They have to build a raft to get off the Borneo to get to the nearest airport. Gasoline that comes into play later in the film, especially at the very end when Cole is the one that kills the snake. Yeah, spoiler alert. The flashlight, first aid kit. I've been hearing that 16 years old has been going to the theaters for R-rated movies. Yeah, in certain countries. Hey, Monkey Man. I didn't go to my first R-rated movie on my own until I was 18 because again, they check for IDs here in New York. 17 and up. If you're under 17, you have to be with an adult. Sorry, little Sims, that's how it works here in the States. In certain states. I know at 16 is the age of consent, but still, 17 and up is usually a young adult. 53 minutes in. It's a breeze to get through. It's not that long. Because if this was done by Disney, this movie would be 2.5 hours. When I met you, you taught me a lot of things. Yeah, I know Little Sims because I'm an adult, so I've had a lot of experiences. 'Headhunters. Yeah, there's a snake that's dead that they see Livingston's body. Yeah, this movie has some tension in it. I can't wait to see Ant-Man 3 next week, man. I'm hoping for the best, guys. It looks amazing. It looks like a Star Wars movie. Like with the way they made the quantum realm, it looks just like one of the prequels or something like or like the original films. Like when they go to Bespin City. Hmm. It really does look like a Star Wars film, and that's cool. My other friends said Disney and Nickelodeon are not rivals. Well, I don't know if they are now, but they definitely were back in the day. I'm voting you off this. I'm voting you off this island. Survivor, the Survivor. That show's still on the air. I can't believe it. I wish that show just ended like 10 years ago. Because some of these shows just refuse to die. They just go on for like 30 years. Livingston. I'm still here, just listening. Feature filmmaker. Mm-hmm. 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 No, I can see Ant-Man 3 in theaters. It's PG-13. Yeah, unless it's mating season. Yep, like it will be in spring. It's mating season. Yeah, it's not. It's mating season for animals in the spring because bears don't procreate until like the spring or summer. Like me, whenever I see a girl, when I see these girls on the red carpet, at a Marvel or DC movie, I just like, oh my god. hmm hmm Because animals procreate. They don't need to date. Animals just procreate because they have to. It's called survival. Humans have to court somebody before they can, procreate with them. Because I saw Catherine Newton, I saw her gorgeous dress at the red carpet. I'm like, oh my god, my honey, so cute, very classy. Skeletons, oh, skulls, bones, just like the predator was there. That's what it looks like, because they're in the jungle. Of course, this is Asia, not Central America. Hmm. Anaconda 3, I don't own that one. I used to, but I got rid of it a long time ago. It's awful. Plus, the disc was scratched, so it wouldn't have worked. hmm I'm gonna build one. Yeah, I'm not gonna do three. I can't even do the first movie because I don't own it. Did Little Sim see my video last year of all the movies I own? Some of those films I don't own anymore because some of them didn't work. Like Rambo 4, my disc was warped, so I had to donate it. And also one of the Bond films. I can only do movies I own, either digitally, physically, on DVD, Blu-ray, or on VHS. If I don't have it there, then I can't do it. That's your ass. I only did Die Hard because I owned it, but the disc wasn't working, so I had to watch it on cable last year. It's 11 o'clock now. 11:12. Flour. hmm How Danger look like a kid's cartoon because it is. I mean, they made Kid Danger just like right after that. Yeah, they haven't showered in days, and they probably reek of death. You know what you smell like if you don't shower for days in the jungle? Rice pate. We're an hour in. Smallpox. Henry Danger got so many awards at the kids' shows it became the number one show on Nickelodeon. Yeah, but it's over because Danger Force didn't win as much because it doesn't have half the cast. That's why the leads are kids now. Yep, the truth comes out. You're thinking of your career. I heard you consult you. Yeah. Yeah, Fast 10, they already got the tickets. I'm like, I'm not going to get it because I'm like, the last one was such a cartoon. It was so long. If that movie was an hour and 50 minutes and it was ridiculous, at least I'd be like, okay, it was not that long. But 2.5 hours, I'm like, I'm sorry, Justin Lin, but you really didn't need to make the movie that long. You could have cut the flashbacks. There should have been one flashback, not 14. And putting stock footage of the other films to reinserted into it didn't fit. It felt incoherent. Give credit to the first three films. At least they didn't do that. They didn't have stock footage and flashbacks that went on way too long. Am I going to do again, Little Sims? I don't have Sponge on the Run. I have to own the film first. The podcasts you see coming up, those are the ones that I'm doing because I own the films. I don't own that one. I only have the first two SpongeBob movies. I don't have On the Run. Sponge on the Run, I have to get it first, or wait till a day that my family's not here and I can watch it on because I don't have a streaming service down here. It's upstairs that I usually see my stuff on Disney Plus and Paramount Plus. Mm-hmm. Bloody Mary. All I got left is a few more minutes, and yeah, my next podcast I think is either tomorrow or Saturday. Depends. What's your top five worst movies based on books? I can't do that right now, Little Sims. It's gonna take too long. He finds the phone. They could have called hours ago, and a flare gun too. That comes in a handy in the third act. Hmm. They kind of had in Hard Henry the movie. I don't know what that is, and I don't count comics because comics are thin books. They're not. You can finish it in like a few minutes. Yeah, me too. That's why I got the COVID vaccine last year for the last time. That's what happened to Miles. He got bitten by a spider. Good thing he wasn't paralyzed by it. No, that's a gun, and the other is a flare gun. Hmm. Poor Mitchell. He doesn't even die from that. The snake eats him because he can't move. Nasty. Yeah, he can't move. He's like, we got a bite mark on his arm, and the snake is in there. Hmm. Been a while since the Michelle Jones getting a movie comments I made. Yeah, because again, I don't want to talk about old things from a year ago. It's a new year, guys. There's a snake up close. The snake eats him whole. So you see it too. You see him swallow him whole. It swallowed them whole. It's to burn the hut, yeah, so the snake will go away. Because snakes are cold-blooded animals. Hmm. Yep, and he escaped with the raft. Hmm. Yeah, we find. Yeah, at least the characters are active here. Nobody really gets underused, except for the people in the beginning of the film. Liar. We're almost done. We're an hour and 12 minutes in, so thankfully the movie's not that long. Because Jungle Cruise would have took me an entire day to finish because of how long it feels. Hmm. Like the Predator. Yeah, this is the third act when they go underwater. They go to that cave. Yeah. Hmm. This is the most isolated scene in the movie. There's a way out. Hmm. Run. He gets lost. See, this scene is dark, but it makes sense because they're near they're going underground. In Solo, the entire movie looks like this. It's so dark you can't see anything. It's like you needed a flashlight in the theater to see the freaking movie. And movies shouldn't be dark, guys. I want to see what's going on. I'm tired of movies being so dark you can't see them. I'm like, if it's a theatrical experience, let me see what's going on. Even if it's ridiculous, Love and Thunder was not that dark. I could see what was going on. Indiana Jones. Of course, he's the next to go, the Asian guy. Mhm. The water's not deep. It's scary because you don't know what's in there. Yep, he fell. This is like the scene in Touristas with Olivia Wilde, where they underwater. Yeah, gotcha, right in the gut. Yep, it got him. Oh yeah, this scene is pretty cool. I like this scene. Blood in the water. Yep, good thing they did. Ugh, we're almost done. Yep, he just made it. Yeah, watch this scene. She takes the machete and decapitates the snake. That's a badass scene. It's good that the woman has to do something. Nope. Oh, watch. Ah, watch her. She decapitates it. Yep. I wish I saw Wonder Woman do that. She takes a sword and just cuts someone's head off. Yeah, that'd be great any movie. Yep. Uh huh. Another snake right behind. I didn't see that coming. That the snake comes out of nowhere and grabbed him. Yeah, I mean, he Lorena Bobbitt it. Yes, that was a woman that castrated a man. So you don't want to know. You don't want. I'm not going to mention it here because there's a new YouTube will nuke my channel. Look it up, guys. Yeah, I don't want to get my. I already got a account warning on my Facebook. I don't want that to happen here. So yeah, Lorena Bobbitt, you look it up. Cole almost dies in this movie, but he doesn't because he's getting squeezed. He could have eat the snake could have eaten him, but no. Thankfully, he didn't die because they give him something to do. He has to give him CPR. CPR, yeah. Yeah, because he's not drowning, but he was running out of air because the thing tried to squeeze the life out of him. Even the monkey's like, "Damn, I'm glad that wasn't me." Yeah, there's the one F bomb in the movie. It's like near the end of the film, so that's terrifying. An animal that can squeeze you. That's why I don't mess with snakes or lizards or any animal that's stronger than me. That like that. I'll take off my hat soon. The chat looks like it's gone now, but that's okay. I got some. At least I got some interesting comments this time. It's almost 12 o'clock. Yeah, I'll be done before then. The movie's only 90 some minutes long. It's not. It doesn't go on for over 2 hours because nowadays movies are just too long. Even monster movies, they try to be like an hour and 45. I'm like, no, you can cut a little bit here and there. I enjoyed Rampage, but I need 20 minutes of screen time for Naomi Harris. You could have cut her out of the film entirely. You could have had Malin Ankerman fill that role or someone else like Halle Berry. Would have been better than Moonfall. It's the same monkey from George of the Jungle. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You just let him die. Mm-hmm. He shot him in the arm. Yeah, there's blood in this movie. It's a PG-13, but it does have some blood. Did you see the Kids' Choice Awards every year? No, because 2020 there was nothing. It was Victoria Justice doing a Zoom call with a bunch of actors. That's about it. Because with the pandemic, they couldn't do it in person. They didn't do it in person until 20, and it was all right, but it hasn't reached the peaks of back in the 2000s and the 2010s. I hope this year is better because you have a bunch of influencers doing the hosting this year. It's a torch, not a flare. No. Yeah, this weak villain. He doesn't work as a villain. He's just a greedy Brit. Yeah, I've never seen that before. Yeah, this villain's weak. Yelling doesn't make you scary. I mean, they learn nothing from the guys in Force Awakens in the First Order or Ben Mendelsohn in Rogue One. Yelling doesn't make you intimidating. It means you're not in control of your emotions. It's a story about survival, you know? You missed again. Because Donald Pleasant, this guy is not, because he was in Halloween 4. Yeah, Marston just doesn't get the job done. I'm sorry, as a villain, he's just weak. There goes the book bag. He gets bitten in the arm and then falls right into the pit. A fitting end to such a worthless Binto in this film. Is he the worst? No, but you know, because he doesn't do a lot of films now. After this, he did Transformers 2 and Rambo 4. He was decent because he was a sniper in that, but they didn't make him the villain. Yep, yep. The spider bit you again. It's called "What Goes Around Comes Around." Spider-Man. Oh. No, goodbye. Now they eat him. He dies with his greed. Just like Cary Elwes at the end of the Jungle Book remake from 1994. His greed is what kills him. Mm-hmm. There's a snake up close, right in your face. At least this movie's different. It's not a copy of the first film. Different cast, and they're looking for something different instead of. Yep, they gangbang on poor Matthew Marston's face. Yep. The girls at least survive in this movie because, again, it's like a horror movie. You know, you have the final girl. What's your opinion on Taraji P. Henson? She can be good at these, but sometimes she's a cartoon character. Sometimes she's like way too much. Like if you see Annie live, yeah, she was too much in that. The monkey's terrified. There's a gasoline tank. Yep. It spreads the gasoline. It doesn't know that's not. No, they uses the gun. Yeah. No, there's the flare gun. Yep. I told you it would come back to. It would come back and yeah, he uses the flare gun on the mouth of the snake and it blows them all up. See, the black guy gets a nice redemption story. He was scared throughout the whole movie, but he gets the final kill, which is cool. It's not like Ryan the Last Dragon. Who gets the winning blow? The freaking villain? No. No. Sorry, Disney. You failed with that. You should have just had Raya have her final moment, or at least Sisu come back into life and finish the job. Not, oh, the villain is going to get a redemption story. No. No. Goodbye, Snake. Squished. Mm-hmm. At least that death wasn't as Looney Tunes like as the one in Jungle Cruise. What can I say? I'm a bad man. Yep, the four remaining, the Fantastic Four, if you will, except there's two girls. I guess the monkey's a thing. Yeah, the movie's almost over, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm glad they got to experience it with me, and it was not a chore to get through. Because when the chat is respectable, it's a lot easier for me to do this, especially for over 2 hours. Sometimes they all got messed up. She's scratched up. He's scratched up. This guy got shot. Sam is dirty. It's a nice, good, and it's a happy ending. It's not a downbeat ending. That's the movie, 91 minutes long. It's pretty fun. I'm glad I got to watch it again. That was Anacondas, The Hunt for the Blood Orchid. I like the song at the end as well. It's a fun movie. I think you guys should watch it on streaming. They should have it somewhere. It's underrated. I think it's way better than the first one because I didn't like the cast as much as the first one. So thanks for watching. Take care. My next podcast will either be tomorrow or Saturday, but stay tuned. Thanks, Little Sims and Josh, for showing up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks.